application video for Unit 2B Lesson 4. We are going to be solving systems of equations using elimination. I don't know why it says substitution there. It should say elimination. So Miss Schubert sells school supplies in the media center. She sells erasers for $2 per package. She sells pencils for $5 per package. And then we are told that she sold 220 total packages and $695 was how much money she made. So I'll tell you, most of the time when you're writing a system of equations and there's money involved, usually you're going to have one equation that just deals with how many total items were sold and another equation that deals with the money. And then you solve from there. So let's go ahead and define our variables. We're just going to say x is equal to one thing, y is equal to another. In this case, let's say erasers are x and pencils, expensive pencils, are y. All right, so when we write our equations, the first equation, like I said, is just going to deal with how much stuff did she sell? Not necessarily the money, but just how much stuff was sold. So we know that she's selling pencils and she's selling erasers, and we are told that altogether she sold 220 packages. So however many packages of erasers plus however many erasers together was 220. That's my equation that just deals with how much merchandise she sold. The other equation is going to deal with the money, so I'm going to write that in green. So we know that erasers are $2 per package. So to figure out how much money she made off erasers, I would have to say 2 times X, which is the number of erasers that she sold. She's also going to make money for her pencils. So to figure that out, it's $5 per package, so I'm going to say $5 times y. If I add this money to the pencil money, then altogether the problem told me that she made $695. Now I have a beautiful system of equations and I'm ready to solve it. Now I'm going to be solving this using elimination, which means I need to get one of these variables to match up with the opposite coefficient. So if this coefficient is positive 2, then I either need to make this negative 2 or I can make this negative y. I'm just going to go ahead and do negative 2 because it's simpler to me. So here's how that's going to look. Let's see. I'm going to pull this down so that I have more space. And I'm going to multiply everything in this equation by negative 2. Again, that's because I want this coefficient, which is currently just 1, to be negative 2. So I'm going to distribute that negative 2 to everything. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times y is negative 2y. That's supposed to say plus negative 2y. And then negative 2 times 220 is negative 440. Right? The second equation, I don't have to change at all. So that's just going to be 2x plus 5y equals 695. When I then add these two together, negative 2x plus 2x, that goes to 0, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Negative 2 plus 5 is positive 3y, and negative 440 plus 695, you can put in your calculator. Negative 440, can I do? Yes. Plus 695 is positive 255. All right. Now I have a simple equation to solve, so I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides, which leaves me with y equals whatever 255 divided by 3 is. So let's pull that up while this is scrolling. 255 divided by 3 is 85. So y equals 85 is what I'm going to have here as soon as it decides to stop scrolling. All right, y equals 85. So going back to what that y stood for, that means we have 85 pencils, or packages of pencils. Now to figure out how many erasers we sold, I'm going to go back into the simpler of my two equations, which was, in my opinion, this x plus y equals 220. I'm going to plug in the fact that I now know that she sold 85 pencils. So x plus 85 equals 220. And then I can solve that by subtracting 85 from both sides, which leaves me with x equals, we can say 220 minus 85. Again, you can put it in the calculator or you can just do it by hand or with mental math. But it ends up being 135 packages of erasers. So then, of course, I'm going to write up some sort of solution statement. So in this case, I'm going to say, Miss Schubert sold 85 packages of pencils and 135 packages of erasers. Period. The end. All right. If you have any questions, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you in class.